Attention Texans fans, a bombshell may explode in the Houston locker room, affecting the future of two key offensive players. Meanwhile, young quarterback Stroud faces a crucial crossroads that could define his fate with the team and the direction of the Texans project for the coming years. Million-dollar contracts, surprising trades, and increasing pressure for results. The atmosphere is heated. Welcome. Show your support for the Texans by reaching 100 likes on today's video. Quarterback Stroud, a young prospect and rising star of the Houston Texans, is about to face one of the most important moments of his career, negotiating his first contract extension. As he prepares to start his third season in the NFL, Stroud could receive an offer that will determine his future in Houston, but the situation is complex and filled with uncertainties. After an impressive rookie year in which he threw 23 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, leading the Texans to win the AFC South Division and a playoff victory, Stroud partially disappointed in 2024. His performance dropped to 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, showing regression in some aspects that concern management. One of the main factors in this decline was the poor protection from the offensive line, which exposed Stroud to constant pressure and limited his performance. Additionally, the offensive coordination did not meet expectations, hindering the development of the young quarterback. For the upcoming year, the Texans tried to address these critical points. They heavily invested in renewing the offensive line and brought in more options in the receiving corps to alleviate pressure on Stroud. But one question remains: will it be enough for the number 7 to regain the rhythm of an MVP candidate? Mike Jones from The Athletic provides a cautious scenario regarding Stroud's contract extension. According to him, the Texans are expected to exercise the 5th-year option in the quarterback's contract, which is automatic for players chosen in the early rounds. But signing a long-term, lucrative deal will directly depend on the 2025 season. Jones compares Stroud to Brock Purdy, the 49ers quarterback who recently signed a 5-year, $250 million deal. If Stroud shows improvement and maintains a high level of performance, Houston could follow the same path, securing a contract that keeps him as the franchise player. However, the departure of Laremy Tunsil, a 5-time Pro Bowler and the key piece of the offensive line, adds a question mark to the equation. Tunsil was traded to Washington, leaving a void that needs to be filled immediately to ensure protection for the young quarterback. With the free agent market and the draft, Houston brought in players like Cam Robinson and drafted Ariante Ursary to bolster the line. Still, the pressure for Stroud to perform at a high level in 2025 is enormous, as his contract and the team's future depend on it. If the offense does not deliver, Houston may hesitate to invest heavily in Stroud, opening the door for discussions about the quarterback's future. But the positive side is that management seems to believe in his potential and is prepared to provide the necessary support. What is clear is that this season will be decisive for Stroud to prove he can be the face of the franchise for many years and justify a lucrative contract extension that is bound to be one of the most significant in the NFL in the coming years. While the quarterback's contract situation impacts Houston's planning, another topic is stirring the waters. Two important players from the Texans' offense are emerging as potential trade candidates. Who are they, and what could this movement mean for the team? Let's move on to the second chapter of this story.
Two names from the Texans roster have gained attention as possible tradable players before the start of training camp 2025. Tight end Dalton Schultz and offensive lineman Titus Howard. Dalton Schultz has been one of the most reliable targets for Stroud. In 2024, Schultz recorded 53 receptions for 532 yards and 2 touchdowns. Solid numbers, though lower than the 59 catches for 635 yards and 5 touchdowns he registered in Stroud's rookie season in 2023. At 28 years old and with 2 years remaining on his 3-year, $36 million contract, Schultz is a productive player, but due to his age and cost, is considered expendable by management, which is looking to free up salary cap space and invest in younger or cheaper options. On the other hand, Titus Howard, at 29 years old, is a versatile piece of the offensive line, capable of playing both tackle and guard. Nevertheless, his name has appeared on the list of potential trades, especially after the movement that involved Laremy Tunsil's departure and the arrival of reinforcements like Cam Robinson and Ariante Ursary. The Texans' offense has undergone significant changes, and the coaching staff may be evaluating the best composition for the attack, putting Schultz and Howard under scrutiny. Despite appearing on the list, the chances of both being on the roster at the start of the season are high, as they are still considered valuable for the functioning of the offense and for supporting Stroud. This situation reveals the complexity of managing Houston's roster, balancing talent, cost, and renewal without losing competitiveness at a time when the team has high expectations after advancing consecutively to the AFC divisions. The success of the franchise in 2025 depends not only on on-field performance, but also on management's ability to assemble an efficient and balanced team that allows the quarterback to evolve and the defense to maintain a high level. Fans can expect quite a bit of movement in the coming months, with potential trades, renewals, and adjustments that will define the Texans' profile heading into the future. The Houston Texans are at a critical crossroads. The future of the team hinges on CJ Stroud, but building the roster around him is just as vital as his performance. The uncertainty surrounding Stroud's contract extension reveals that the franchise can no longer gamble on potential. It's time to demand concrete results. At the same time, the potential trades of Schultz and Howard indicate that management wants flexibility and salary optimization, even if it means parting with players who have been important thus far. My opinion, Houston needs to find a balance between keeping the talented core and ensuring resources to strengthen its most vulnerable areas, especially the offensive line. Stroud deserves a team that protects him and provides him with top-tier weapons if he wants to rise to the elite level. And you, Texans fan, do you think management is on the right track in preparing the team for the next phase? Or do you fear that the pressure on Stroud and the roster changes will hinder his development? Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything about the Texans and the NFL. Your support is essential for us to continue delivering in-depth and thought-provoking analyses.